This one hurt. I don't care about no fast food place, but In-N-Out's my spot. All you fools begging for minimum wage increases, it ain't our fault you didn't freaking hustle or get a profession. Go grind. All that minimum wage increase, you're just going to end up back at where you started because all the prices are increasing on everything.
So when it comes to the In-N-Out fast food restaurant, I've heard nothing but good things about it. Me personally, I've never had an In-N-Out burger, but from what I hear, everybody that talks about it, like if you ever visit the West Coast, you should definitely stop by and get a burger. Like me, I live over in the East Coast where we have access to a place like Shake Shack. And for me personally, Shake Shack is an amazing quality burger. It is a little expensive for the little burger that you get, but it's definitely a good burger. And I try to eat there maybe like once a month, right? I'm not big on fast food, but I will, go here and there, try it. But in this video, we're going to talk about In-N-Out. In-N-Out Burger, and of course we're going to talk about California, and of course their minimum wage increase, where a lot of, obviously back in April, they implemented a law where all fast food workers are going to get a bump to a minimum wage increase to $20. And of course, they implement laws where they don't really understand the consequences, right? You've seen it all over the place. You're seeing fast food restaurants either close down, of course, increase the cost of their food, laying people off, or maybe reducing the hours of these people. So there's so many consequences. Like on surface, you're looking at it like, oh, people are getting an increase in their wage, but in reality, all it's doing is just making people make less money and just bad for the economy overall. But of course, you don't really see that. So in this video, we're going to talk about In-N-Out and how a lot of people are, and how they feel about what's going on when it comes to In-N-Out raising the prices of their burgers.
Bay Area residents have been experiencing sticker shock when it comes to food, whether at grocery stores or restaurants. And tonight, In-N-Out has recently joined other chains in hiking its prices to keep up with the new minimum wage increase. KTVU's Betty Yu joins us live tonight after speaking with some customers in Alameda. Betty.
Mike, I've been speaking with customers, and the response has been really quite varied regarding these price increases. Now, some of them were a bit shocked at the slight price increase. Others didn't notice at all. But take a look at this drive-through line at this hour. Now, this is not uncommon, but if it's any indication, the demand for In-N-Out is strong.
Thanks, Chris.
Pittsburgh resident Chris Halika says he eats at In-N-Out every other week.
The price increase, I understand, because the economy is kind of bad.
The company said it increased prices across California the same day the state's fast food minimum wage law took effect. In-N-Out said in a statement to KTVU, on April 1st, we raised our prices incrementally to accompany a pay raise for all of the associates working in our California restaurants. The price increase was also necessary to maintain our quality standards.
I've always heard that In-N-Out treats their employees well. It seems like that's part of their branding, and so we're definitely down to support that, especially in the Bay Area when cost of living is so high.
The starting wage for In-N-Out workers is $22 to $23 an hour based on the location.
Damn, $22 to $23 an hour for a fast food worker? Look at, man, I'm all for you getting your money, man. Like I couldn't care less, man. Like I couldn't care less. You want to get paid that much? That's fine. Just understand that when you break down the business-wise economics, there are consequences to these actions, right? If you're going to increase the cost of labor, then the price of the goods and services are going to follow, and they're gonna push that price increase to the consumer, right? So consumers need to understand, look, you're going to fight for these minimum wage increases. You're going to pay the cost of that. And that's the thing. Like, you want to make that, and I'm all for that. You want to make your money, that's cool. But you need to understand there are consequences to these actions. And it seems like a lot of people don't understand that. You even see it with some of the workers in other fast food restaurants where when they got laid off, they said that there was a little regret. Right, they'd rather have their job than maybe have that increase, right? Because now your minimum wage is zero, right? You're out of work. There's no jobs for you, so you got to go find another job. So there's a lot of regret for a lot of people that were probably fighting for this minimum wage until they face the consequences, which was probably reduced hours or being laid off altogether.
Which is higher than the state's new $20 minimum wage.
Especially coming from Georgia, California prices are a little bit higher, but when I came to In-N-Out and I was spending $20 on a meal, it's definitely something that I did not expect at all.
Khalil Coleman just
All right, first of all, why would you do that? Like, why? That's his first mistake. Why would you come from go from Georgia to California? Your cost of living, your standard of living just went up tenfold. Like, that don't even make sense. Like, you got Georgia, cost of living is pretty low. And then you go to California where they're taxing the heck out of you, and then obviously everything else there is more expensive. You know, maybe he got a good job where he got a good pay increase. Maybe, you know, who knows? Maybe that's the case. But it's just, for me personally, I would never go from Georgia to California. That's just me, right? So, but you know, for whatever reason, obviously him and his family have made that choice
to move to Oakland from Georgia 2 weeks ago. For Halika, the pricing is all relative. For example, a double-double meal at the In-N-Out in San Francisco is the most expensive in the Bay Area at over $13. The same meal in Alameda costs just under $12. Diners pay slightly less at the San Jose or Pittsburgh locations.
It's not bad. You know what I mean? If it's what it is, as long as it don't go over $20, I'm fine with it.
Still, inflation remains stubbornly high as the Federal Reserve is set to release its latest policy statement Wednesday. Unfortunately for consumers, the Fed is widely expected to keep rates steady. Where do you feel the pinch the most these days?
Definitely in going out for meals, so we're trying to do it less often.
Was it worth it today?
Was it worth it?
No.
I don't know.
That's a no. That's a no. So look at, man. Like I said, man. I'm all for people getting money, man. You go get your money, but just I think a lot of people are really don't understand economics when it comes to this stuff, right? They just see that, you know what, things are very expensive and I need more money, instead of saying, all right, you know what, how can I increase my skills so that I can you know, be competitive in the labor market? Because like I said, like, it doesn't matter. You can raise the minimum wage to $50. It's not going to matter because the cost of everything else is going to go up. Right. And then, of course, if you did that, then, you know, there's only so much consumers are willing to pay. Right. They're not going to pay for a $50 burger. Right. It just gets to a point where they just say, you know what, this doesn't work. And then, of course, the business, if it doesn't make sense to them, if they're not hitting their bottom line, then they have options as well, where, you know, a lot of these stores are just shutting down, or they're laying people off. Like I said, reducing hours. Businesses are going to adapt to this as much as they can until it gets to a point where they said, you know what, it just doesn't make sense. I think I even heard something, and I don't think this is true, but there was like articles talking about how McDonald's is trying to leave California. I don't think that's true. I mean, that was just something that I kind of heard, but like, I wouldn't be surprised if someday they did, because it just doesn't make sense. And of course, they make a lot of money as a company, so they probably can handle that. But it gets to a point where people are only going to pay so much for a burger, right? They're going to pay for so much for a meal, and it gets to a point where people say, you know, I'm not going to eat there. And me personally, I couldn't care less, because look, I'm not a big fast food eater. I'm not going to McDonald's. I haven't eaten McDonald's in years. Right. And for me, it's just like, I obviously eat my meals at home. I like to do my own thing. And every once in a while, I'll probably, if I do go out to a restaurant, I'll order a burger or something like that. But it's very rare. Like, I like to make sure I'm eating at home because it's much healthier. I know it's being put in my food and it's more cost effective. Right. But for a lot of people, obviously, they're angry about this. They're not happy with this. But these are the consequences when you do things like that, especially when you're increasing the minimum wage the way they're doing it. Right. But, you know, like I said, man, people are gonna learn the hard way when it comes to these type of decisions. And when you see people getting laid off, businesses closing down, then you'll start to think and say, all right, what's going on? OK, so, yeah, so those are my thoughts. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Make sure to leave a comment down below. Hit the like button and share. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. All right, so you guys have a good one and take care. Later.